Hello and welcome to Coffee with Carey. Cold coffee, gotta love it. Appreciate you popping on by today to see what's on the agenda. I was screening somebody for one of my clients. When I'm screening new people, I try to give a fresh get to know you conversation when I try to determine whether they're a match for my client, because they may not be a match for my client, but they may be a match for another client of mine or a future client of mine. So I try not to force their round peg into a square hole and just get to know them for who they are. So I have no idea whether my client had children or not. But while we were on the topic, he shared how old his were, but he also shared with me the age of the children that he'd prefer his partner have. And that's valid. Some people are going to be empty nesters right away, so they don't want to start over with somebody who's got toddlers. Or some people are like, I want to do a lot of traveling, so I hope that her children are at least high school age so they'll be more independent in the next few years. Other people want somebody whose kids are out of the house and are free to go right now because they just retired. So I believe that everybody is entitled to their preferences around whether their future partner or the people they want to date have children and what ages, etc. But this fellow was talking to me and he shared the reason that he had a preference around the ages and wanted them to be either super young or much older was that in previous relationships he'd found it challenging to discipline somebody else's children. And that struck me as questioning when in a relationship would that be happening, and is that appropriate with somebody else's children, and did you have a conversation about what your role would be in these children's life? How long had their parents been not together? And I had some thoughts around this and I wanted to share those, so that's what I'm talking about. Stick around if that's interesting. I wanted to break this down a little bit and just have a conversation about it. Dating somebody with children, I believe, and these are always just my opinions based on talking to a lot of people in different stages of divorce and relationships and dating, my own divorce experience, but I believe dating somebody who has children requires an extra sensitivity and an understanding that children of divorce have lost something. They lost what they thought they were going to have forever. And I can see that. I saw that with my own kids. They lost the future that they envisioned when they were grown up of having their parents together, if nothing else, that. But a lot of times they are going through things trying to navigate having parents living at different places. Sometimes they have to move and go to a different school. But at the very least, they're navigating a whole new life for themselves without two parents together. And I think that takes time. I think a lot of times it takes some counseling, being able to talk to somebody about their feelings, and then bringing on that next stage where their parents start to bring in new people. I know there are a lot of people who won't introduce anybody to their children until they are assured that this is going to be a long-term relationship and that this person will be spending a lot of time with the family, and therefore it's time to be introduced to kids. A lot of people have rules around that. And I was just thinking to myself that it doesn't really matter the age of the kids. They all have lost something. Even if a parent has passed away, we know exactly what they've lost there. So I wanted to point out that a lot of times parents that I speak to when they're starting to date won't, as I said, introduce someone to their kids for quite some time. I've met people who haven't introduced someone they're dating to their kids till it's been at least a year. Other people have different rules, and I'm not making your rules for you. But I would say in most circumstances, this child does not, or children, does not need, and especially immediately, another parent. Somebody who didn't grow up with them and isn't a parent is probably not what they need early on as their parent starts to explore seeing new people. Most likely, unless a parent's passed away, they have two parents, right? They have a mother and a father. They don't need somebody who's going to step in and act as a parent or be disciplining them or setting up their own rules. And I understand that eventually people live together and there should be family conversations about family rules or things that might change because there's another adult in the house. But that should be a conversation first between the two adults. You know, they may need to negotiate some of that and then discuss how they would share any new rules or thoughts they have with the children. My other thought about this is that while children don't need a third parent very often, they can never have too many people in their life who love and care about them and support them and are there for them. So I would encourage you or someone you're dating to be in the role of being a friend to someone else's children that you're dating, to be part of the support system, another adult who cares about you and wants to be involved in your life and be a cheerleader and help guide you and offer opinions or advice or an ear. That you can never have too many people in your life who are willing to do that. And also, I think that it takes some time for a child to know you, to trust you, to respect you. I don't believe that respect is just something that we give to people. I'm not of that generation. I believe that people have to earn our respect. So I don't think that's something that immediately another man comes into your life and your children are expected to respect them. Should they be polite and have good manners? Absolutely. To everyone they meet, right? We all want to have good manners with whoever we're meeting, even as adults. But respect is something different, and respect just for the sake of respect, that's not something that I would be teaching my children. I understand there are people who think differently, but I would think we should encourage children in those situations to make friends with this new person in our life. That we like this person, we think they're nice to us. There's a lot of things bringing an adult into your household with young kids that you have to go through. I'm not going to go through all the safety issues of bringing a person you haven't known for super long to be with your kids, or how long until you want to perhaps leave your children alone with this person. But this is just about the fact that this child has two parents and that a third person coming into the situation isn't a third parent. Hopefully a friend, hopefully a support system, hopefully somebody the child can go to if they need an adult. And then finally, I wanted to end this thought by saying that the best thing that you can give a child who's new in your life, as opposed to rules or boundaries or expecting respect or advice, any of those things, the best thing you can ever do for a child as their partner of their parent is to love the other parent, to love their mother. If you're a man dating a woman, the best thing you can give these children is to treat their mother well and to love her and respect her and set that example for children. I think it's very important to set a great example of what a healthy relationship looks like for children, especially if the end of a marriage was not as easy on the children, that to settle into a new relationship and show the healthy version of what a couple looks like, it is a positive for children. So love their parent and set a good example and be a friend. Those are the things I think a child would benefit from in a new adult coming into their life. Anyway, I just wanted to share that thought with you. I would be interested in hearing your thoughts down below. If you found this interesting, this conversation, this little snippet of a conversation, I hope you will leave it a thumbs up. And while you're there, maybe subscribe to the channel, hit the ring bell, then you can be notified every time a new episode goes live. And I would look forward to seeing you back here again soon. Until next time, thank you and have a good one.